I really don't know. Thunder God shook his head. I want to help Big Brother, but he's only told me a little when he's frustrated while drinking with me. After all, we've been together for so long, even though we're not blood brothers, we're closer than that. And when I asked for more details, he refused to tell me. Luo Feng frowned. I'm looking for Big Brother. Luo Feng gently tapped in midair and a screen appeared. He gently tapped it and sent a mail to his big brother. After a while, dressed in simple black casual clothes, Hong walked in, smiling. You're all here, third brother, why are you so anxious to find me? Big brother, sit. Luo Feng said. Thunder God stared at Hong too. Hong looked at their expressions and frowned, sitting down and saying, Third brother, you know? Luo Feng nodded, looking seriously at Hong. Big brother, you're serious? Hong nodded, not feeling awkward at all. At Hong's level, he had already seen through everything. Haha, I didn't expect there to be a woman in the universe that could attract Big Brother. I too want to see just what magic she has. Luo Feng smiled as he said. Actually, when Hong nodded, everything was clear. Hong seemed to have truly fallen for her. As for why she attracted Hong and why the two had feelings for each other, Luo Feng naturally couldn't ask. Is it big trouble? Luo Feng looked at his big brother. A little. Hong too frowned with a sense of worry. Big brother, tell me what family it is and who is the Undying behind it? Luo Feng looked at Hong. Tell me the situation, I'll help you. Hong looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng too looked at Hong. This time I can only trouble you, third brother. Hong didn't reject either. The three of them were absolute geniuses. Even Luo Feng, who had the weakest mental state, had long reached the point where his heart was like a mirror, able to see through all illusions and illusions. Hence when they did many things they didn't bother with formalities, they were extremely direct. And they all understood each other's thoughts. This family is the Ji Shi family, one of the 300 emperor official families in the Ganwu universe country. That girl is called Ji Qing. Hong said directly. Luo Feng nodded. He gently tapped in midair and a screen appeared. Beside him, Hong and Thunder God couldn't help but look at it. Search. Luo Feng searched for information on the Ji Shi family, Undying and Ji Qing, one of the 300 emperor noble families in the Ganwu universe country. With LuoFeng's authority as a primal region member, he was indeed able to read very secret information. Lines of information instantly appeared on the screen, covering the entire screen. Why can't we see it? Thunder God was puzzled. Within this search information, a portion of it is classified, hence you won't be able to see the information on the screen. Luo Feng smiled. This is also one of the restrictions of the virtual universe network. As he spoke, Luo Feng gently tapped on the top of the list. Open a little. Immediately an article appeared. It was formed according to LuoFeng's search for the Ji Shi family, Undying and Ji Qing. Luo Feng couldn't help but to reveal a look of shock. What's wrong? Thunder God asked. Hong's eyes were filled with anticipation. The authority of this information isn't high, I can tell you all in the virtual universe. Luo Feng smiled and said, you all should know the Ganwu universe country has a total of 13,000 star fields, just the Undyings under the country leader alone definitely number over 10,000. Amongst them, many of the Undyings with great contributions and strength naturally became officials and emperors. A country's emperor and official had nothing to do with the official level or emperor level Undyings. Like some low-level civilizations in the universe, the strongest might be at the universe level, but they still had emperors, princes, and kings. Like some of the smaller universe countries' officials were very worthless, while the universe countries' officials were very powerful. Like the virtual universe company, Battle Axe Dojo's emperor and officials were the true noblest. Like True Yen emperor, he was emperor level. However, compared to the Ganwu universe country's emperors, he was much, much higher. Official level and emperor level, only the virtual universe company Battle Axe Dojo, these kinds of superpowers had the right to confer them. What's more, in the various universe countries, there were almost no emperor-level Undyings. The Ganwu universe country has a total of 32 emperors and 268 officials. Together they are called the 300 emperor officials. Luo Feng said, the 300 emperor officials have huge authority, they are the top of the 10,000 Undyings, almost all of them are official-level Undyings. Hong and Thunder God listened carefully. The Ji Shi family, their territory is the snow border starfield, the family's ancestor, also the first leader of the ancient family, is called Ji Tian, his official title is Silver Snow Official. Luo Feng said, Silver Snow Official Ji Tian belongs to one of the 300 emperor officials. He is one of the oldest officials that has followed the Ganwu universe country leader for the longest, he is highly regarded by the country leader. As Luo Feng spoke, his eyebrows creased. This Ji Shi family wasn't to be messed with, behind them was the Ganwu universe country leader. Of course, the high and mighty Ganwu universe country leader, when it came to these small matters, he probably wouldn't even bother to interfere. That powerful? Thunder God muttered. Hong however was rather calm. Ji Qing. Luo Feng continued, Universe Level 9, a rare absolute genius of the Ji Shi family, currently a core member of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. What? Hong fiercely stood up. Thunder God stared wide-eyed, his mouth wide open. After a while he said softly, My God! Of the 5 great powers of humanity in the universe, the Virtual Universe Company and Battle Axe Dojo were slightly stronger, the other Universe Mercenary Alliance, Universe First Bank and Universe Galaxy Bank were slightly weaker. However, no matter, the 5 were still equal, becoming a core member of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. one definitely had to be an absolute genius to enter. She's actually... Hong's expression was complicated, shaking his head. Hong hadn't even entered the Battle Axe Dojo's core. He didn't expect the seemingly normal girl he liked was actually a core member of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Of the 5 great powers, only the Virtual Universe Company and Battle Axe Dojo would hold genius battles. Hence the other 3 powers all cast their nets wide open to secretly recruit geniuses. This also resulted in the geniuses that were recruited not being very famous. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God, the 3 brothers of Earth sat together. I'm getting ahead of myself. Whether or not she's a core member of the Universe Mercenary Alliance has nothing to do with our relationship. Hong looked at Luo Feng. Third brother, you've seen the information. This Ji Shi family is obstructing me and Ji Qing. Do you have any way to solve this problem? Yes. Luo Feng nodded without hesitation. Thank you. Hong's eyes were filled with gratitude. Luo Feng smiled. Big brother, these few years you've always been helping me, now it's my turn to help you, there's no need to thank me. With regards to mental state training, Hong had never found it troublesome, and had always guided Luo Feng. Haha. Hong suddenly laughed. Because deep within, Hong had always remembered the first time he met Luo Feng. His age was probably even older than LuoFeng's grandfather, hence he naturally had the feeling of caring for a younger generation, caring for a younger brother. Hong did this purely out of instinct, he had never thought of anything in return. Yuxiang Mountain, Primal Region, LuoFeng's villa. Luo Feng sat quietly before his desk. Troubled? Babata, who was on his shoulder, chuckled. Now you feel that things are troublesome? What troublesome? Big brother hasn't asked for my help in so many years with his personality, this time he asked for my help. No matter what, I'll do it. Luo Feng smiled. What's more, this matter to me isn't too difficult, I just need to make a choice. Choice? Babata was curious. I have 2 ways to solve this problem. Luo Feng said, the first is to ask my teacher True Yen Emperor to appear. With my teacher's status, even the Ganwu country leader would have to give him some face. That Silver Snow official wouldn't dare be slow. As long as the problem isn't too big, my teacher just has to appear and the matter will be solved. This method was the simplest and most direct. However, Luo Feng didn't want to trouble his teacher easily, his teacher was very protective of him, and he had never asked his teacher for help before, asking once in a while. Luo Feng believed his teacher wouldn't reject. However, deep within, Luo Feng felt that unless there was no other way, it was better not to trouble his teacher. And the second? Babata asked. The second is for me to break through to Domain Lord level now. Luo Feng said, the moment I break through to Domain Lord level, I'll immediately be sent out by the Virtual Universe Company as a governor, and I'll be sent to my home in the Ganwu Universe country. According to the rules, I'll be in the Ganwu department of the Virtual Universe Company, occupying one of the highest positions. As the bridge between the Ganwu Universe country and the Virtual Universe Company, the moment I take up an important position, the group of Undyings and nobles in the Ganwu Universe country will have to give me face. Give the Virtual Universe Company face. LuoFeng's position was extremely high, he was a Primal Region member. If a Primal Region member were to be sent out, his position would be extremely high too. Because within the Virtual Universe Company, a Primal Region member's position was comparable to an official level Undying, the position naturally corresponded, naturally it would be one of the highest positions in the Ganwu Universe country. You're preparing to break through? Babata was shocked. Weren't you preparing to break through Purgatory Abyss? Hence I'm thinking. Luo Feng frowned as he sat at his desk pondering. Actually there was a third method, which was for Luo Feng to go through the Virtual Universe to meet Silver Snow official Ji Tian. However, Luo Feng was after all only a Universe-level Primal Region member. The chances of a Primal Region member dying were extremely high, those that became Undyings were few and far between. Even if they became Undyings, they were usually official-level Undyings. Only occasionally would an Emperor-level Undying appear. Ji Tian himself was an official-level Undying, and he had existed for trillions of years. He was an old official that the Ganwu Universe country leader regarded highly. To a brat like Luo Feng, it was hard to say if he would fall in the future, plus Luo Feng couldn't affect him at all, hence he would at most treat him politely. However, the real problem was he probably wouldn't budge. I have no confidence in the third method. The first method is the most confident. My teacher True Yen Emperor is someone that can make friends with the universe country leaders, and he's also the upper echelon of the Virtual Universe Company. If he appears, that Silver Snow official wouldn't dare take him lightly. The second method is for me to take up the position of a governor. When that time comes, I'll wield huge power and represent the Virtual Universe Company. My words will be different. However, the second method is for me to give up on Purgatory Abyss. Purgatory Abyss. Confusion Galaxy definitely has a huge secret, it's just that I haven't found it yet. Purgatory Abyss is ranked number 1, the secret must be even bigger. Suddenly LuoFeng's mind flashed with the Wolfman Luofu's matter, his entire expression changed, beads of cold sweat appeared on his forehead, he had unknowingly been affected by his greed again. In the previous 6 dangerous level missions, he had been pleasantly surprised with a purple 100 net leaf. Hence in Confusion Galaxy he hadn't given up. Luckily he had the Masha clansmen to explore, hence even though he had died a few times he could still revive. Purgatory Abyss is ranked number 1. If I'm too confident, I'm afraid that'll be the time I fall. Luo Feng took a deep breath. When it's time to take a step back, always chasing the limits. I'm afraid that's not a good thing. What's more, even if I complete the Purgatory Abyss mission, it'll only be 1 million points. The purple 100 net leaf and flame void gold I got before, they far exceeded that. I'll give up. I'll give up the last Purgatory Abyss mission and prepare to break through to the Domain Lord level. LuoFeng's eyes gleamed. He suddenly felt that sometimes giving up was also a form of reward. Teacher. LuoFeng stood in front of the screen. On it was his teacher Tru Yen. What's up? Tru Yen smiled as he looked at LuoFeng. Teacher, I can feel that I can break through to the Domain Lord level at any time. Teacher, do you think it's better for me to stay at the Universe level or enter the Domain Lord level? LuoFeng looked at Tru Yen. Even though he had already made his decision, he still wanted to hear his teacher's opinion. Oh, do you feel like you can break through? Tru Yen revealed a look of joy and laughed. Of course it's a breakthrough. In the path of cultivation, one should be cautious when one should be cautious, and brave when one should be courageous. Naturally, one should advance courageously in cultivation. Cut through all obstacles. What was the point of staying at the universe level for thousands of years to compete with the younger generations? Charging into the region master level. At that time, the ones competing with you will be the region master level geniuses. The greater the pressure, the higher your fighting spirit. LuoFeng's eyes flashed. Let's advance. You must have an indomitable heart. What's more, the realm of the Realm Lord was the stage where one's comprehension of the origin law would improve the fastest. You're all just playing around now. The Sector Lord battles are the most important and intense. Tru Yen looked at LuoFeng. You should have passed 2 impossible level missions by now. You still have one last chance? What's one less? If you lack points then, I'll use money to exchange for it. The points of an impossible level mission, I don't care about it. Even the highest exchange rate, 1 million points only represented 1 million mixed elements. Tru Yen, this level of being, indeed wouldn't care. Didn't he see Sky Feather Emperor casually throw out a piece of flame void gold? An indomitable heart? It's just playing around now? LuoFeng was shocked within. After which, he smiled at his teacher on the screen and said respectfully, Understood, teacher. I'll immediately break through to the Domain Lord level. Go. Go and explore the outside world. That's where the true strong live. Forever under the protection of the Virtual Universe Company, you won't grow. Tru Yen laughed loudly on the screen. Update complete. The 10th chapter has ended. The 11th chapter was about to begin. LuoFeng was about to take on the position of a governor and explore the outside world. That day LuoFeng began his breakthrough. The Golden Horned Beast and Masha clansmen both had experienced breaking through before, and the Golden Horned Beast and his earth body were both flesh and blood life forms. The evolution process was almost exactly the same. Very quickly, a life core formed within LuoFeng's body. Within the life core there was a soul crystal and genetic energy crystal. Of course this life core wasn't too important to LuoFeng. The life core corresponded to his earth body. The life core corresponded to the Masha clansmen. The core within the internal world was the true core of the 3 bodies. Half a day later, the Virtual Universe Company personnel stationed on Black Period Continent immediately rushed over to LuoFeng. Your Majesty LuoFeng, the Virtual Universe Network has discovered through your network that you've already stepped into the Domain Lord level. According to the company's rules, we need to confirm it in reality. The 3 black-clothed staff stood before LuoFeng and said respectfully. LuoFeng however revealed a smile. Whether it was the consciousness sensor helmet or the quantum computer etc. As long as it was connected to the network, it would usually be equipped with a body check device. These devices were very ordinary, their accuracy wouldn't be too high, hence he needed to check it in reality to confirm it. I understand. LuoFeng nodded. Please release your spirit energy and genetic energy. The leading staff said respectfully. All right. LuoFeng smiled and released a pure spirit energy. It swept through the surrounding region and returned within his body. After which he extended his right hand and a glaring gold light shot out. D. The instruments in the hands of the 3 black deacons sounded. The black deacons looked down and nodded slightly. LuoFeng's spirit energy and genetic energy had indeed reached Domain Lord level 1. Your Majesty, please give us a drop of blood. Let us test and confirm if your body's genes have evolved. The leading staff said. LuoFeng nodded. A drop of blood seeped out from his fingertip and flew towards the staff. Checking spirit energy, genetic energy and blood, this was a very accurate way to confirm one's strength. Spirit energy could confirm one's soul level. Genetic energy could confirm one's physical body level. Blood could confirm one's genetic evolution level. Of course, there was another extremely accurate method, and that was to let a warrior directly use his spirit energy to enter LuoFeng's body and carefully check to see if he had a life core. However, this method was very insulting and dangerous. The life core was the core of a person. If someone took the opportunity to investigate and destroyed the life core, wouldn't that mean the death of a prince? Furthermore, with His Highness's status, how could he tolerate someone else's careful investigation? The blood test has confirmed that your Majesty's body can be greatly strengthened to the 9th level of the Domain Lord realm. The leading black-clothed official smiled and looked at LuoFeng. Your Majesty, all the information from the test has already been sent into the Virtual Universe Network. Congratulations Your Majesty on stepping into the Domain Lord level. Thank you LuoFeng nodded. Since Your Highness has been confirmed to be an Area Lord, then according to the rules, Your Highness will have another chance to strengthen your body. The leading deacon smiled, his violet eyes filled with friendliness. We have already brought the nutrition cabin. There is enough nutrient fluid within, enough for your majesty to reach Domain Lord level 9. Luo Feng nodded. The Virtual Universe Company was like that, every one of their majesties didn't need to waste time on energy accumulation. The moment they stepped into the Domain Lord level 1, they could use the nutrition cabin to strengthen to the Domain Lord level 9. Who? A completely gray-colored nutrition cabin appeared before Luo Feng. The seemingly simple nutrition cabin was obviously not cheap to build. Of course the nutrition fluid within the nutrition cabin was the truly precious thing. Your Majesty, this nutrition cabin can only be used by you alone. The leading black-clothed official smiled. Other than the nutrition cabin, there's another thing I need to tell you. Luo Feng stood there listening. The second thing is that once you reach the Domain Lord level, you'll have to be sent out. The leading black-clothed official looked at Luo Feng. According to the rules, you'll usually be sent out to your home. Your Majesty's hometown is the Ganwu Universe Country. I wonder if your Majesty is willing to return to the Ganwu Universe Country and take up an important position in the Ganwu department of the Virtual Universe Company. If not, you can choose any other universe country. I'm willing to go to the Ganwu Universe Country. Luo Feng nodded. Your Majesty. The leading purple-eyed black-clothed official smiled. As you are a Primal Region member, the position you'll be assigned to in the Ganwu department of the Virtual Universe Company will be very high, with huge implications. Hence it'll be decided by the upper echelons, after which the appointment will be made. This requires a long process, usually the earliest would be a month, the latest would be half a year. Since the matter is done, we won't disturb you any further. The purple-eyed black-clothed official bowed, behind him the other two black-clothed officials bowed respectfully too. So, the three of them became three beams of light and flew away. Luo Feng watched as the three flew away before returning to his chair in the living room. The efficiency is really low, just one appointment would take at least a month, the latest would actually take half a year. Luo Feng shook his head and sighed. The bald, undying god Dylan who had been following behind Luo Feng sat beside, smiling. Your Majesty, as you are a Primal Region member, the appointment would definitely be the highest position in the Ganwu department, and the power and benefits involved would be huge. You'll need to go through a series of procedures before you can make the appointment. Tell me, what position can I take? Luo Feng was curious. The Ganwu department of the Virtual Universe Company in the Ganwu Universe Country, under normal circumstances, there are 3 tycoons at the top. Dylan said, the Ganwu department is split into the military, business and army. Those 3 tycoons are in charge of the military, business and army. There's even an army? Luo Feng was shocked, because normally speaking, it was split into the military and business departments. Strictly speaking, the Ganwu department of the Virtual Universe Company is split into the military and business departments. Dylan smiled. The military department refers to the large number of warriors directly under the Virtual Universe Company, as well as the geniuses and grooming within the Ganwu Universe Country, etc. These are all part of the military department. The business department is the business side with trillions of employees. The benefits involved are huge. The military and business departments were the main 2 departments of the Virtual Universe Company, this he knew long ago. However, Dylan smiled, the universe is vast with trillions of races. Our human race often engages in large-scale wars with other races. Hence, in the 1008 universe countries, they all have a standing army. Universe army? Luo Feng squinted. The weakest army has to be at least universe level. Dylan said, maybe in a galaxy the number of universe level warriors can be counted on one hand. However, in the vast universe countries, to build an army of over 100 million universe level warriors, 1 million sector lords and over 10,000 undyings, it's still possible. Luo Feng held his breath. A super army led by over 10,000 undyings? Every universe army is an extremely important military force of the universe countries. Dylan said, hence the management of this army is extremely important. Right, such a terrifying super army, who would manage it? Universe army, it's impossible for the upper echelon of a universe country to completely control it. Dylan said, every army of a universe country is usually managed by the upper echelon of the universe country itself and the upper echelon of the Virtual Universe Company, or Battleaxe Dojo, stationed in the universe country. Luo Feng was shocked. Just the Virtual Universe Company and Battleaxe Dojo? Right? Dylan nodded. The 1008 armies of the 1008 universe countries, of which 504 are managed by the Virtual Universe Company and the universe countries themselves. The other 504 are managed by the Battleaxe Dojo and the universe countries themselves. The Virtual Universe Company and Battleaxe Dojo looks like they're much stronger than the other 3 powers. Luo Feng was extremely shocked. Of the 5 powers. However, the other 3 powers couldn't even interfere with the 1008 universe country armies. Obviously their power couldn't compare to the Virtual Universe Company and Battleaxe Dojo. Of course they're much stronger. Dylan smiled and nodded. The 5 powers have always been led by the Virtual Universe Company and Battleaxe Dojo. Your home Ganwu Universe Country is coincidentally one of the 504 universe countries under the Virtual Universe Company. Dylan smiled. Hence, the Ganwu Universe Country's army is managed by our Virtual Universe Company's Ganwu department and the upper echelon of the Ganwu Universe Country. Hence, the Ganwu department, other than the normal military department and business department, has an additional military department. Dylan smiled. Of course, the military department only has a portion of the army's management rights. Unlike the two ministers of the Warriors Department and the Department of Commerce, who had absolute control over their respective departments. However, even so, the military department is still a powerful department. Right, a super-universe army formed from the entire universe country's army, even with a portion of the management rights. The Ganwu department's military department was still very powerful. The Ganwu department's 3 tycoons are the military department head, business department head and military department head. Dylan smiled. To be able to become a department head of a certain universe country, one's power threshold is a official level Undyings. 3 official level Undyings? Luo Feng was shocked within. Your Majesty, your power is definitely far from theirs. However, your position and authority in the company is indeed the same as the official level Undyings. Dylan smiled. Hence the moment your Majesty returns to the Ganwu universe country, then your position and authority will be the same as the 3 tycoons. Hence, your Majesty, you will become the 4th tycoon of the Ganwu department. Dylan looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng held his breath as he listened. The Ganwu department had a lot of authority in the Ganwu universe country, even the most important army had a lot of control over them. Even the high and mighty Ganwu universe country leader had to obey the virtual universe company. This naturally caused the Ganwu department's authority to be ridiculously huge. The 4th tycoon? However, the Ganwu department only has a total of 3 departments. Luo Feng was curious. The 3 departments were divided by the 3 tycoons. What was the 4th tycoon doing? Looks like your Majesty hasn't searched for this information in detail. Dylan smiled. Luo Feng shook his head and smiled. It was only because of Hong's matter that he decided to reach the Domain Lord level earlier. Hence he hadn't had the time to search for information and other preparations. The Primal Region members will be sent out, their positions will be the Supervisor Envoys. Dylan said, their positions will be the same as the 3 department heads. Supervisor Envoys, what do they do? Luo Feng was curious. Just a title? No actual power? It was very important to have real power. Just having a high position but no actual power was useless. Luo Feng knew about these things back on Earth. Of course they have actual power. Dylan said, and they have a lot of power. Ah. Luo Feng listened carefully. Our virtual universe company's Ganwu department represents the company to manage many matters in the universe country. Even many of the Undyings in the Ganwu universe country are friendly with the 3 department heads. Can you imagine just how shocking is their power? Dylan exclaimed, it's because their power is too great, even the Undyings have their ambitions. As time goes by, for the sake of ambition and greed, they do things that harm the virtual universe company's interests. That's very normal. Luo Feng nodded. Indeed that was the case. Power corrupts. What's more, having so much power over a universe country. Hence, the Supervisor Envoys are like their names, they have the right to monitor. Dylan smiled, they can monitor the 3 department heads. The moment they discover anything fishy, they can report it to the headquarters. No matter how powerful they are, they won't be able to withstand such serious checks. What's more, if there really is something fishy, then all the more they won't dare mess with you. Those 3 department heads will definitely coax you, they won't dare mess with you. Dylan smiled, as long as you become a sector lord, your position as a governor will automatically end and they'll be able to relax. After all, there are too few primal region domain lords. I'm afraid it'll take 10 million years or even longer before a supervisor envoy lands in the Ganwu universe country. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Supervisor envoy? This was equivalent to representing the headquarters to monitor. This power was indeed not small. This is the most basic power of the supervisor envoy. Dylan laughed. From a nurturing point of view, the virtual universe company will also arrange for your Majesty to do other things. Some things, if your Majesty does well, you'll be able to gain points. That was right. Domain Lord and Sector Lord level geniuses also had their own ways of obtaining points. It was just that it wasn't as easy as the universe level. The news of Luo Feng becoming a Domain Lord quickly spread throughout Yuxiang Mountain. Yuxiang Mountain, as the virtual universe company's pinnacle of geniuses, everyone was incomparably jealous of the primal region. Hence back then when Luo Feng entered the primal region through the qualification battles, these geniuses all knew about it. Back then they were all shocked. This Luo Feng entering the primal region in his first qualification battle, it was truly impressive. But who would have thought? In just 10 years, Luo Feng actually rushed to Domain Lord level and was sent out. Has this Luo Feng gone stupid? Our Yuxiang Mountain primal region geniuses, 90% of them can break through to the Domain Lord level at any time. But how many of them are as crazy as him? Universe level geniuses and Domain Lord level geniuses, the difference in strength is huge. I heard that the weakest Domain Lord in the Absolute Beginning secret area has passed the 8th level of the Heavenly Bridge, and the weakest Domain Lord in the Primal secret area has passed the 10th level. Even the strongest Universe level genius Fei Tua, if thrown into the Domain Lord level, he would barely be able to stay in the Absolute Beginning region. Has this Luo Feng gone crazy? Who knows? Within a private room within the Banyan Manor Hotel in the public region, the top 10 of the genius battle back then were all gathered here, mainly to send Luo Feng off. Whether it was Rongjun or Bolin, when they found out that Luo Feng had actually broken through to the Domain Lord level, they were all stunned. Madman, we've known each other for so many years and I've always thought you were crazy. However, this time you're even crazier than I thought. Rongjun raised his wine glass. No matter how much of a genius one is, they usually stay in the universe level for over 1,000 years before breaking through. Most of them stay for thousands of years before breaking through. However you, just for your madness madman I toast you. Haha savage come drink. Luo Feng raised his glass. Bah. The two of them clinked their glasses and raised their heads to drink. Madman. Wuka stood up and smiled. The universe level geniuses stay in their levels for thousands of years, and the domain lord level geniuses stay in their levels for tens of thousands of years. Hence the domain lord level members of the absolute beginning region, the weakest has passed the 8th level of the heavenly bridge, and the lowest in the primal region is the 10th level. I know this. Luo Feng smiled. Absolute beginning region domain lords of the 139 have passed the 8th level, 58 have passed the 9th and 3 have passed the 10th. Of the 10 domain lords in the primal region, 9 have passed the 10th and 1 has passed the 11th, am I right? Wuka was speechless. The others in the private room all quietened down. According to what they knew, Luo Feng had only passed the 7th level. He was much weaker than the domain lord absolute beginning members, much less the primal region members. What's there to be afraid of? The domain lord qualification battles happen once every 1,000 years, there's still a few hundred years till the next one. Luo Feng smiled. After a few hundred years, my strength will probably rise again. Bolin, who had been silent all this while, suddenly looked up, his voice cold. In a few hundred years, do you have confidence in passing the 10th level? Luo Feng went silent. The heavenly bridge had 3 levels, 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12. Hence, going from the 9th to the 10th was an incredibly difficult hurdle. Those absolute geniuses that had trained for tens of thousands of years were all geniuses from the many genius battles and hero battles. However, those that had trained for tens of thousands of years to pass the 10th level, only a little more than 10 of them. And these 10 were all the most exceptional from the genius battles or hero battles, or even absolute geniuses nurtured by the Virtual Universe Company. They were all incredible. They still spent over 10,000 years to pass the 10th level. From the 9th to the 10th, it could be said, the difficulty was even higher than the 1st to the 9th combined. You have confidence? Bolin stared at Luo Feng and asked again. Haha. Luo Feng laughed. At least, I have the courage to fight. What's more, who knows what will happen in the future? The group of people at the table went silent. They all felt Luo Feng's indomitable heart. This was a conviction that would never retreat. Even though they understood this, the others didn't learn from Luo Feng, because Luo Feng broke through as a primal region universe level member, and none of them were able to enter the primal region. Primal region, Black Period Continent. Your Majesty, don't worry. Dylan looked at Luo Feng. Don't worry? Luo Feng frowned. The primal region is simply too far from the Ganwu universe country. Even if I take a universe ship that can travel at 50 times light speed, it would still take over a year. A year's time, I'm very worried about my big brother right now, but after a year, who knows what will happen? Unless I go trouble my teacher. Your Majesty, unless there's no other way, it's best not to trouble the ancestor. The bald Dylan said. Of course I understand. Luo Feng frowned, but the flight time. Your Majesty. The bald man smiled. I've said it before, Your Majesty doesn't have to worry. In the universe, other than a universe ship, there's another faster way to reach the Ganwu universe country. Ah. Luo Feng was shocked. What way? Your Majesty should have been to Primal Universe City before. The bald man smiled. Primal Universe City is in the Primal Universe. And the Primal Universe and the ancient Primal Universe we live in. The distance between the two, no matter how close, is still much further than when you go to the Ganwu universe country. The bald man said. However, back then when you went to the Primal Universe it was extremely fast, right? Luo Feng nodded. Very fast. It was because we went through the universe passage. Luo Feng remembered clearly, back then when he sat in the Nine-Blade Knights universe ship and went through the universe passage to the Primal Universe, in that passage, the time flow was unstable, it made the group of geniuses very uncomfortable. Right, the universe passage. The bald man nodded. Not only that, like the Black Dragon Mountain Empire Your Majesty lived in, behind the empire is the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. That sacred land Black Dragon Mountain is actually a god country. And within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, there's a fixed passage that leads to the sacred land Black Dragon Mountain. Luo Feng nodded, he knew this. And the god countries are all in the crevices of the universe space. The bald man Dylan smiled. Those passages that connect the god countries to the outside world are all teleportation passages. Whether it's the god country space passage or the higher level primal universe passage, they're all teleportation passages. Dylan smiled, allowing two places that are originally over 100 million light years or even further to instantly arrive through the passage. These are all fixed space passages. Dylan sighed. For any fixed passageway, the farther the 2 points are connected, the greater the price it costs. Even if it's a short distance, it'll still require tens of thousands of mixed elements. Some of the further ones may require millions of mixed elements, even tens of millions of mixed elements to build a fixed passage. Luo Feng was shocked. The cost of a fixed passage was indeed huge. Other than being able to build a fixed passage. Dylan smiled. God countries can also do one-time teleportation. When I'm in my god country, as long as I leave a coordinate somewhere else in the universe, I'll be able to instantly create a space teleportation and do a one-time teleportation. Dylan exclaimed. This kind of teleportation has a smaller cost. However, every time I teleport I'll have to create a space passage according to the distance the cost varies. To return to my god country from here, I'll have to create a teleportation, which consumes about 3 mixed elements of resources. From my god country to the Ganwu universe country, I'll need about 5 mixed elements. Dylan said. Using the god country to teleport once would consume 8 mixed elements? Many Undying's wealth didn't even reach 10,000 mixed elements, even his own teacher probably wouldn't bear to use it again and again. Creating an extremely long-distance space passage consumes a huge amount of energy. Hence even the Undyings are used to using universe ships. Dylan said, unless it's an extremely urgent matter, fleeing etc., only then will they choose to teleport back to the god country. Or use the god country to instantly teleport to another place. Luo Feng sighed within. The god country was the majority of an Undying's life. It was a very mysterious existence with many special abilities. No wonder the path to the primal universe is a fixed universe passage. If I had to create a teleportation every time and return, the cost, even the virtual universe company wouldn't be able to bear it. Luo Feng exclaimed within, if he wanted to return to the Ganwu universe country to save time, he would have to spend a huge amount of resources. The primal region was an ancient universe secret region. It was incomparably vast and vast. Black period continent. The palaces were continuous, one couldn't see the end of it. The past geniuses of the primal region all stayed here. And the control center of the entire Black Period continent was a 66-story completely black tower. The lowest level of the tower was over 1,000 kilometers in length and width, its height reaching tens of thousands of kilometers. This tower controlled the surrounding space and time. Within the 45th level of the tower's hall, it was densely filled with intricate apparatuses and screens. Around these apparatuses were many silver-armored personnel and very few black-armored personnel. The huge screens hovered above the hall. Suddenly one of the screens lit up. I want to take a universe ship and leave the primal region towards the Ganwu universe country. A voice suddenly resounded throughout the hall. Immediately, the group of black-robed men in the hall looked up and saw a figure appear on the large screen. It was a black-haired young man wearing a layer of silver armor. It's His Majesty Luo Feng. His Majesty Luo Feng is leaving for the Ganwu universe country now? Hasn't the order been passed down yet? The distance from here to the Ganwu universe country is very far. Even if you take the highest quality F-grade universe ship, it would still take 1 to 2 years. And the order would take at most half a year to pass down. It wouldn't be strange for His Majesty to leave now. The group of black-armored men discussed softly. Another black-armored man walked to the control board and pressed a button, saying respectfully, Your Majesty Luo Feng, your request has been passed down to the main control system. In a while the authority will pass down the order. Black Period continent, in the air above LuoFeng's palaces, a completely black flat universe ship floated. Within the universe ship. Dylan, this ship of yours is really not bad, an F-grade universe ship. I heard many Undyings can't even build one. Luo Feng sat on the sofa within the control room, looking around and smiling as he complimented. This Yen Xing ship was awarded to me by my teacher after I made a huge contribution. Dylan sat on the sofa beside. Reward? Luo Feng was shocked. That third senior of his was indeed generous. This Yen Xing ship's material was weaker than the Yun-Mo planet ship. However, no matter what, it was still an F-grade universe ship. Master, we have obtained the authorization. We can leave now. A cute girl's head appeared on the small screen in the control room. The girl said in a crisp voice. Let's go. Dylan ordered. Yes. The Yen Xing ship immediately began to move. Very quickly, its speed soared, becoming a blur as it swiftly flew into space. When they reached the edge of the Black Period space, there was a ripple in the space. The Yen Xing ship passed right through the ripple. After half a day. In space, the Yen Xing ship was like a huge flat fish in space. Your Majesty, we have already left the primitive secret realm. Dylan laughed. That primal region is the virtual universe company's core area. I don't dare to use my god country transfer there. I can do it now. Sorry for the trouble. Luo Feng stood up. He looked at the endless starry sky outside with a look of anticipation. He had never seen a divine nation teleportation before. It'll be quick. The bald man Dylan, who was dressed in a gorgeous black robe, also stood at the side. His entire body was faintly rippling with a strong nomological aura. His eyes were looking at the endless void. Suddenly, an incomparably dazzling light lit up from Dylan's body and instantly spread out, covering the surrounding space of several kilometers. The entire ship was enveloped in the glaring light. This is... Luo Feng, who was also enveloped in the light, stared wide-eyed in shock. He could vaguely see a golden palace in the distance. This is the god country? Shio. The entire Yen Xing ship immediately followed the light passage and was absorbed into the god country. God country transfer was similar to an ultra-long-distance teleportation. However, this type of teleportation wasn't from comprehending the universe laws, or from understanding the space laws. Instead, it was a special ability contained within the Divine Kingdom itself. This was an ability that the Divine Kingdom naturally possessed from the moment it was born. The Yen Xing ship was enveloped in a glaring light and immediately vanished in space. Within the Undying Dylan's god country. Wah! Luo Feng stood within the ship's control room. Through the external simulation, he looked at the beautiful god country outside. The dark blue color was like an endless sea of jade. There were only slight ripples on the surface of the sea, and above the endless blue sea, floated a golden palace. That golden palace was like a star, constantly emitting light that illuminated the entire divine kingdom. This is my god country. Dylan stood beside Luo Feng and smiled. How beautiful, how majestic. Luo Feng looked at the distant golden palace illuminating the entire god country ocean. Your Majesty, the god country is an Undying's most important place. Dylan reminded Luo Feng. Hence you must never bring any threatening enemies into the god country. The moment you do, it'll be a true life or death battle. The moment it collapses, even if the Undying survives, he'll never be able to advance. Luo Feng nodded. Also, the god country transfer has to be done in a very secretive place, with no other Undyings within a certain range. Dylan said. Because the moment you do it, it will reveal the location of the god country. If other Undyings find out where it is, it'll be a nightmare. Luo Feng nodded. The divine kingdom was like one's core. It was his lifeblood. He must never reveal it. This time, although Dylan had brought himself and his guards into the divine kingdom on the spaceship, the divine kingdom did not have enough manpower. However, as there weren't any Undyings within the guards, they weren't a threat to Dylan at all. Then shall we head to the Ganwu universe country now? Dylan looked at Luo Feng. Dylan's entire body emanated origin law energy. Simultaneously, the golden palace within the god country suddenly glowed incredibly brightly, forming a beam of light. Rumble. The beam rushed into the sky. The Yanxing ship also swiftly flew towards the pillar of light, flying straight into it and disappearing into thin air. So, the long-distance teleportation was complete and the beam of light dissipated. Within the Ganwu universe country, on the surface of a nameless mineral planet, a blinding light appeared out of nowhere, and a flat universe ship appeared out of nowhere. Your Majesty, right now we're within the Ganwu universe country's rock starfield. Within the control room, Dylan stood beside Luo Feng and smiled. I've left a thread of my undying energy on this planet, hence no matter how far it is, I'll be able to sense it through the god country. I'll be able to teleport there. One has to leave a thread of undying energy before teleporting? Luo Feng asked curiously. Yes. Dylan nodded. One has to confirm the destination before teleporting. And an Undying's undying energy is unique. Every Undying's energy is unique, hence it can be used as a location marker. An Undying's undying energy was indeed unique. Every god's energy was different. According to what you're saying, to teleport the god country to a certain place, one has to leave a marker there? Luo Feng frowned, which means, these places you've been to them before. Right. Dylan smiled. For example, if I've never been to a place before, naturally I won't be able to teleport there. How far is this place from Jade Dome Planet? Luo Feng asked. This marker is the closest to Jade Dome Planet out of all the markers I have. Dylan said, from here we'll universe travel and travel at 50x light speed in the dark universe. It'll take about 12 days. Ah. Luo Feng nodded. 12 days. Traveling in the vast universe, 12 days was indeed an extremely short amount of time. Let's go. Luo Feng smiled. Yes. Dylan nodded. Luo Feng returned to his own resting cabin. This was specially prepared by Dylan. It was extremely luxurious. With a wave of his hand, Luo Feng took out a nutrition cabin from his space ring and placed it on the ground. I haven't had the time to soak in the nutrition cabin. Luo Feng looked at the nutrition fluid within the nutrition cabin and thought, for my Earth body to rise from Domain Lord Level 1 to Domain Lord Level 9, I'm afraid it'll take half a year. It's just that recently I've been busy with Big Brother's matters, hence I can only soak in the nutrition cabin. What? After the nutrition cabin confirmed Luo Feng's identity, it automatically opened. After which Luo Feng laid naked in the ice-cold and precious nutrition liquid, the endless special energy immediately began to permeate his skin, muscles, organs. It began a swift transformation process. 12 days later. After Dylan woke Luo Feng up, he came to the control room. Your Majesty. The 10 sector lord guards bowed respectfully. Luo Feng nodded. Along the way, the sector lords, domain lords and universe-level soldiers of the guard team were all in the universe ship. Only now, when they were about to reach their destination, did the 10 sector lords come out of the cabin. Dylan smiled and pointed at the space outside. Your Majesty, look, that's Jade Dome Planet. Luo Feng stood in the control room and looked out. In the distant space, there was an incredibly glaring planet. It was completely blue. Your Majesty, Jade Dome Planet is one of the 9 first-class administrative planets within the Ganwu universe country. As the Ganwu universe country's territory is simply too vast, hence they created this first-class administrative planet to better control the entire country. This Jade Dome Planet is the political center of the surrounding 1,000 star fields. Dylan smiled and explained, and Jade Dome Planet itself is a man-made planet within the God country. It's not naturally formed. The entire planet's diameter is 980 kilometers. It's comparable to a normal star's size. Luo Feng smiled. There should be a universe galaxy bank on this planet, right? Of course there is. Dylan nodded. In a while I'll go to the universe galaxy bank to transfer the 8 mixed elements to you. Luo Feng smiled. Universe galaxy bank?